Buenos dias, buenos tardes, buenos noches, a todos en todo el mundo. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody all around the world. And thank you for joining us today for another Left 4 Dead 2 competitive shoutcast. My name is MK. I'll be your caster and cameraman for today. And today we have a semi-bracket winner. Winner bracket semifinals between Fear Factory and Akatsuki. And I will be accompanied by the co-caster, Naina. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, MK. Thank you for the introduction. We've got Fear Factory versus Akatsuki here. I don't think too many people are surprised to have Fear Factory in the winner semis, but definitely going to be some eyebrows raised about Akatsuki making it. They've been playing very well. They did get kind of gifted that win by Hikori week one, but they were in the lead going into that situation that evolved. So let's see how they do. Going to be starting off on the SI side with a 2-2 Hunter Smoker against Fear Factory on the Survivors. Hunter hopping in the back line. Smoker going to connect for a brief moment. No spit. Going to be avoided using the log. One boom. Beautiful take by Fear Factory. Textbook take, but at the same time, pretty much a softball first hit.
Yeah, not much at all. I do agree. But we're going to have a really early tank here at 30% of the way through this chapter. So with this map being 500 distance, getting wiped on a game like this with it only being one campaign would be devastating to both sides and all. But Bird's going to have the first tank of the game for his team. They're going to hit on a run back. The Hunter does land, but the Jockey and Charger don't. And Akatsuki's team will be Isha, Demon, 520, and of course Verd. Why don't you take Fear Factory away for us now?
For Fear Factory, we've got Noro, aka Gosu, Hydro, Chris, and Hikaru. Of course, Noro, not to be confused with Nora, who is longtime player of Akatsuki, not here today. It's going to be 520 playing in his place. 520 has come to be a main fixture of the Akatsuki roster as well, so no major surprise there. It is going to be a Charger Smoker Boomer for the time being. We're just going to keep going for a rock here as Smoke Charge both land and the rock too resets back at 100% frustration.
I think that was iframe though, the rock, no. Yeah, he has no damage. His tank is still at 0 points. But he did get his rage back, so.
Some much needed damage as well. Of course, keeping in mind they only got one chance at a hit, and they've already managed to bring down 3 players below that initial break point. We got 79, 90, and 94 HP. Hikaru, the only one escaping with 99 HP. They got a Jockey Charger and a Hunter. Like you said, the Rock, since it didn't get the damage, it's just going to be an engage here. Jockey, Hunter, Charger, definitely exactly what they wanted. So that Rock not going to matter too much. Let's see what Vert can do. He's already half HP. Charger finding nothing. We do get a corner. Hunter, Jockey, sure, rolling caps. And it does buy enough time for Vert to get a single in cap, maybe a rock as well. No. Should get shut down at this point. Really nowhere to decommit to. Another Hail Mary rock. Comes out through the shrubbery, but he is going to go down.
Reloading.
Yeah, he does get his in cap now. I believe it was an in cap plus. Not sure if he got one other hit, but it was a nice 2 cap. The Charger unfortunately did not land, and if I did see correctly, no, I think he landed a hit M1 immediately, trying to grab that one survivor. Just didn't work out, but Boomer's going to go in really quick here before the rest are ready. And back off, question mark? Alright, 2-2 coming up here, and as Boomer goes for a despawn, 65% bonus left here. No, good score for Fear Factory.
Interesting. Okay, they are going to have the boom make it in time. Whoa, pretty scary boom with potential stumbles. They will be able to avoid the stumble into the spit, but it's still going to be a try boom. But that tank was worth about 30%. No hittables. Multiple SIs. Not, they didn't get a double cap. They didn't really get that charge, and they still managed to get 30%. Definitely not a bad start for Verd there for his team, as he is a team captain. But as we focus forward, still got 60% of the bonus to tear through. Hunter, Charger, Jockey, Spit. Beautiful. Pretty much the best hit that you could ask for at this inside area, which lately hasn't been causing much noise, but definitely has the potential.
Yeah, this could be a really big hit if they get hit on the transition in here, but Fear Factory's going to have no commons to deal with it, and there was no way that the Infected could hit on the outside with the spawns that they have. There's not even a Smoker to assist with this charge around the open is difficult. Looks like they're going to go here. Shotguns are in. Shotgun and Uzis are in. The Hunter will land. Unfortunately, he jumps. Oh, they're both swimming in the spit. Coach got to get out of it, and that's a pretty good follow-up hit, Knob. So, if you see so far, since the tank has been killed, they were at 65%. First hit took them down to 50s. Now they're at 47.6 if they got to keep popping pills. This is good follow-up damage from Akatsuki.
It is, but I don't feel like they necessarily earned it. That inside area, the hit didn't look that good. The Hunter it happened to bring him down when he landed. And then the Jockey, I feel like that really shouldn't have happened. We'll see. They've still got, 1,000+ points here. It was a really good initial take by Fear Factory, in my opinion. The idea was right there. Let's see what they can do. Charger, Smoker, Hunter, and a Spitter. Smoker is actually not going to go through the trees.
Not done yet.
He's going to reposition to it. Hunter's in the same spot. They go through for damage. Charger landing, Hunter landing, Smoker landing. Pretty close on the smoke. What do you think?
Yeah, really good follow-up damage. I mean, they land the Pounce and the Hunter both in the spit there. I think without going for a death charge, that's the best damage option they could have gotten. It was a good job on Fear Factory. I don't think anybody that was DB got landed in the spit, so the damage wasn't as much as it could have been. But still, they get it down to 424. Jockey comes in first. Oh, he got a scratch in there, so he snuck in an M2, and they'll knock it down to 420 even. And 920 is what Fear Factory's going to put up for one. And now it's going to be Akatsuki's turn to play a Survivor. And that's a respectable score put up from Fear Factory now, but I think Akatsuki did a great job maximizing their damage output with the Special Infected, whether they absolutely earned it or whether they just took advantage of what Fear Factory gave them.
Yeah, well said.
We're not going any further.
I mean, this kind of feels like middle of the road situation to me. Of course, this could be a tank wipe, in which situation Akatsuki would go way down, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think what we're going to see is Akatsuki landing, plus or minus 200 points of where Fear Factory is right now. We had 5 survivors there for a second, kicking Rochelle. Now we're down to 4, it looks like. Okay, that was kind of strange, but looks like we got that figured out.
And it looked like it didn't break it either. If you notice, there's no skull bones on the scoring system. Yeah, it's going to work. So that was well done. They did that 100% correct.
Nice. And
well played by the teams by... I'm a little speechless here. No, it didn't work last time, but they knew what they were doing. Hunter Boomer, Spitter, and the Smoker. See what they can get with this 2-2. Smoker tries to pull out. Hunter's going to take the target. He does fine. The spit goes far away. It does not reach over to the Survivor, so as it would seem for one hit. Wait a minute. They'll get some more damage here, and never mind, I ate my words. It's going to be a little bit more damage going out onto Akatsuki with that Smoker pull at the end, and that Smoker will be alive, but first tank of the game for Fear Factory into the hands of Noro, and Survivors should retreat back to safety.
The Smoker pull early on. There's a world where a Moonrock lands here. Charger just getting one smack. Jockey there for a bit. The tank started climbing up, doing this stuff. I really feel like he could have landed a rock if he just ran forward, but also don't want to take unnecessary chip. In the meantime, that hit was, regardless of whether the tank attempted the rock or not, that does bring 3 of them down below the break point. We got 81, 90, and 92. Still got Aisha or Nick at that 5-punch range, but everyone else can be brought down below it.
Definitely, but the question is, what are they going to do with their tank here? Are they going to try to go in for damage, or are they just going to sack this Boomer? The Boomer goes in with the rock, not able to get in there, so it looks like Fear Factory is completely content with just waiting for their last spawn. And then Noro's going to roll this in. There is no extra, like you were saying, what Nal was saying before this tank commits. The only survivor that would be a deficit for the tank to punch would be Aisha, because the latch punch would only be 1 HP and you're getting really no value for that hit. So the last spawn will be a charger, and he's got to make his way in before the charger is in position. There's an early pull that doesn't land. He'll get his own corner on Aisha. We were talking about this. And it's going to be the second punch, the third punch. The spawns are going in. There it is. Oh, he got the pills off, so this is going to be damage bonus. And a lot of it, too. Look at that. Melted down to about 60-some%. There is a pull for the tank. Nobody's clearing the smoker. First punch onto Coach. Second punch onto Coach. Third one gets an in cap. Tries for one last rock. Not going to get it, and he should die off here before any more damage. And that's going to be a 2 in cap tank coming out from Noro and Fear Factory. And they're going to be in the positive. We'll see how much bonus. And they are going to have about 42% after these pills are popped now. Wrong, it's 44.1. And it looks like they're almost going to win the map already without Akatsuki even going through the campaign yet.
Doesn't find anything. Spitter Charger Jockey, they're just going to rush down this choke. And they need to get as quick as tempo as they possibly can, because this tank absolutely shut down Akatsuki and also left them very little wiggle room for mistakes. So if Akatsuki can get through a major breakpoint like this, especially when the enemy team has a spit up, okay, the third capper is up. They've continued to wait. So Verd and Aisha are going to continue bleeding out. Hunter spawns in, gets pot shotted, but okay, Hunt spit. Charger land, no, but the jockey will. Still some great spit damage. And my issue with that tank, MK, was actually the pill pop from Aisha. The 3 survivors were on the complete other side of the map, and popping those pills didn't really do that much for Akatsuki other than drop their DB.
Yeah, not only did they drop the DB, but it was about 40-some% of the DB because of that pill pop. That was a big risk. They thought it was all for nothing, but all the spawns are pretty much cleared, so it was just gifted DB, as you said. Hunter lands out of the spit, gets cleared, pull back, unsuccessful. That attack is shut down pretty well. They need to go quick here before Aisha is going to be slow, and Aisha is also in the back, down to 42 HP. And it looks like they're going to start crawling, so they might get 2 or 3 more hits now. In just about 8 or 9 seconds as soon as Aisha drops. And now the crawl begins and all, so it looks like they're going to get 2 more. And it's going to be at least 1 quad attempt and a 2-2 following. The question is, where can they send this quad? Or do they have to hold on to it to the end of the map where no matter what, they're only going to get 1 hit now?
Yeah, I really like the idea of just sending in 2. But they find a set of pills. Verd now is going to be bleeding out, though. He's already 41. Now he's going to be 40. And he's going to be 39 in just a moment longer. So now he's slow. Okay, they're continuing to hold for a while. I think they should, if they hit from here, they should still be able to hit it 1 more from Verd. Hunter spawns in, backs it up. He's 34 HP at this point. Definitely not the way that you want to start a quad. Gonna go ahead and sit it in. Desperation time. Gets a laser down. Couple of ticks from the smoke onto 520, but otherwise, Akatsuki's done it. And they are right there within 200 points. They are down 200 points, but But MK, we did talk about this potential second hit as the time is ticking down for the SIs to come back up.
Yeah, it's going to be close. Nah, they should be good. Yeah, they're good.
Okay.
That was super close, but not quite able to sneak it in there. And you're right, it's going to be a lead. Not much for them, but they do have a delta in their favor by 254. Exactly. Lead for Fear Factory. Wait, did I do my math correctly? No, I think it's a little less than that.
Well, regardless, I mean, I thought it was a good enough start for Fear Factory here. Akatsuki worried me a bit. Again, the pill pop, it took away a set of pills. For example, if the SIs were already going in and he pops the pills and the team deals with the SIs and the tank is stranded, that would have been fine. But he popped the pills. The SIs didn't go in. They still had 3 up. And the other 3 members of Akatsuki are on the other side of that area, so they can't even really chip the tank during that. In fact, they start running back towards the tank because they're like, oh my god, he popped the pills. Now we got to make it worse something. And that was the perfect moment for the SIs to engage. So I felt like that could have even gotten worse than it did for Akatsuki. But regardless, they maintain less than 200 points away from Fear Factory. So, you know, regardless of how you, or anyone else felt about how that Chapter 1 went, it is still going to be very much doable for Akatsuki. 30% tank here on Chapter 2.
Yeah, this is back-to-back 30% here now. We're going to see 30% map 1, 30% map 2. How far will this trend go on? And this is a relatively early tank, and this one is risky, in my opinion. We saw some teams get devastated here with these early tanks, and it's a lot on where their hittables go and where they go, and the smoker gets a pull, dies right away. A little off right now for Akatsuki. Now there's only two cappers now with a spit, and they're going to send the charger, and the charger lands the jockey. Oh, he gets... Oh, he gets spreads inside there. Oh, what a good spread for the special infected. I thought that was going to be like no damage there and all, but the spit goes inside the room onto Nick with nowhere to run. Has to run through the spit. Almost 10% opening hit comes out, just a little shy. And look at that. Haruki is already down, or Hikaru is already down to 70 HP now. That is 3 punches.
Yeah, we have actually seen that exact same spit happen to the players Sync as well. I believe it was Envy and RBT7. We saw the exact same thing happen. When a spitter is up, that room is not safe. Even if you avoid the hit, you're going to be stuck in there with the spit very easily spreading in there. So definitely something to be cautious of. And, you know, the other thing is it didn't just hit one. Like you said, it hit 2. We've got 2 players in the 70s now. In fact, Hikaru, 1 HP away from dropping below 70. So this has definitely made the tank's life a lot easier here for Aisha.
Boomer lands. I don't think there's going to be anything fruitful. No, I think he's just going to get his cars in play. And from what we've seen in the past, it seems almost to be normal maybe to leave one of the cars in the front. And it looks like that might be what the tank is doing, but I at least would have punched it forward a little bit, in my opinion, on the other side. Look at this aggression from Rochelle. Not much, though, no, not much.
Hunter Charger Jockey. This is what you want, Aisha. Gotta send it in. Interesting rock. Gonna lose about 100 for it. Goes in and goes in. Jumps up on top, hopping around to force the survivors into an awkward position. And he does get some good smacks. Rochelle going out and back in. Double smack. Keeping her in the corner. Jockey instantly ready to pick up Coach. And he doesn't win the M1 war. The M2 rather. Hunter hopping through. Charger did get dealt with. Hunter gets dealt with. Aisha. 1600 HP left. 2 survivors to deal with. Still got the jockey being annoying. He scratches him and buys him enough time for him to get the smack on Nick. Down goes Aisha, though. It is not a wipe. They will be able to pick up here, but the damage is done.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot and all. They're going to lose a lot of bonus there. That's about 50% with all the pill popping that's going on. The good thing is they do have 2 more sets of pills they could find in the campaign. 2 survivors have DB open, down to 91%. 561 points to be exact. All of the chapter to go through. Of course, the tank is dead. Gonna have a 2-2 following. They go for a smoker pull, misses. Charger right out in the open, not gonna get it, and they're just gonna go for a quad. And they're Boomer needs to die here. Okay, Boomer will die. And with how late the spawns died here now, I don't know if they're gonna send this quad into the event because I don't think there's any advantageous spawns. I don't know how do you feel about that?
I feel like the event is one of the most popular places to send a quad in general. I mean, you've got all the commons, all the different areas of attack that the survivors have to be looking at. Really easy to get stumbled and such. I was kind of surprised that Akatsuki went for the quad at this point to set it up so early. But at the same time, it's pretty much, even if the SIs try to hit through that entire stretch from the tank dying until now, the hits are going to be pretty mediocre at best unless Fear Factory just really messes up. So we do have the quad. Akatsuki has waited this whole way for it, but the hour of reckoning is nigh.
It is, and the infected are in position. It's all in the transition of the survivors when the infected feel it's most advantageous for them. If survivors can all run into that building, it wouldn't be the worst case scenario at all. And then they can start transitioning when they want. Looks like they're going to go for it. No, they're just going to hold W around. Interesting. Okay, now the charger got to come from a long way. The stumbles. Oh, the jockey almost gets it. And they're going to survive. There's going to be quite a bit of damage going out, and the crawling will begin. But that was pretty darn close to landing there. No, the smoker gets out alive. And 2-2's incoming, but they're going to be crawling the rest of this chapter now.
Okay, it's really hard to say with this chapter 2. It's like you think something's gonna happen, that's a given, and then it doesn't through this area. Or you think that that it's not, and then it does. So they hit before the army tent, actually. Some good spit damage, definitely eating into the bonus. Fear Factory has 18% HP, 15% DB as commons continue to scratch it away. And in the meantime, we're actually going to have one player completely separate. But of course, they have very intimate knowledge of the SI timers here. And if an SI were to hit at this point, they might just be able to rush it down. Although, that being said, Chris is actually on 1 HP here. So some shenanigans came out. I couldn't blame him.
Yeah, I'm just wondering here. Now, there's no spitter. That's one thing that's benefited for the survivors. But I think they have to down Chris. I think they have to take the chance and down him, or he's got to go in first. Boomer is unsuccessful.
Right.
They're trying to get the pop through the wall so it doesn't set off the car alarm. I don't think it's going to work. They're going to give him a quad or a spit now. They're going to wait this whole thing out. And there's going to be more bleed, and they're backing up. No, they're going to yield this to the infected. They're going to let them have the spawns that they want. They're not going to push the envelope at all. And we'll see. I mean, if I'm Akatsuki, I would rather have a spitter here than a quad. And they're going to get it. I think this is exactly what I would want in the same scenario now.
Chris is still 1 HP, and this hit is way, way, way more threatening now. The only thing is, you know, the alarm card has already gone off, so that threat is gone, but still, this is a very big transition hit with a spit ready to go. One scratch onto Chris, that's all it took. He was the bait, but they didn't kill the jockey. Spit actually goes, though. And so now we got 8 seconds left on the spit. It's a little bit onto Coach, who doesn't have much HP to begin with. They're going to stumble. Charge misses, though. Would have loved a little bit of patience there. Oh, my God. One goes down. Bitter is still alive. Going to go in on the pickup of Chris. And they're not going to be able to hold it, MK. The action continues.
Yeah, they're able just to dink them down and see what they have when they get the pickup. Maybe a couple points above 100, about 128, and they're going to deal with another set of spawns, so they could lose even more. The spit goes out. The hunter lands, the boomer lands, the clears were instantaneous. Smoker gets a quick pull, but gets cleared right away. And no damage goes out because there's no more DB.
Oh, right. Yeah, it was all on Noro there, who was chilling at 56 permanent HP. So it actually didn't matter how much, which I thought that spitter was unfortunate. I couldn't believe that it didn't down Rochelle there, but regardless, since nobody got down, the hit was entirely worthless. So in a way, Fear Factory made it work, but as we saw, it was 128 bonus. There's 1,300 plus potential bonus in this chapter. So, of course, we'll have to see how much Akatsuki can get. Going to be a jockey, charger, smoker, spit, dangerous hit into a dangerous tank. We'll see how much they have on the way out. Charger actually just going to be getting a smack in the stumble. Some standing spit, yes, but it is going to be 6% onto Akatsuki, and they do manage to avoid at least a bit of that. We got 3 players below 90, though.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually very good damage, believe it or not. I think if that Smoker was a split second sooner getting the body block, they might have got a little bit more, but Smoker is not the fastest infected, unfortunately. It takes him a little time to get where he needs to go, but we're going to have the second tank of the game for Fear Factory into the hands of Hydro, and he has chosen not to get the extra hatchback, going directly in for the van. And it is in, and it is over, but it is not close to any survivor. And this is the interesting take that he didn't decide to go for the hatchback. Not saying it's really a game changer, but it lets the survivors be a little bit more aggressive on the chip. As we can see, they got him already down to 57-47. That's a good car, and no one's going to come out here to chip him when he goes over now. Oh, Rochelle getting really ballsy here now. Look at that. I don't think. And they got a boomer. Are they going to send this in with the boomer? Landing this boom here would be huge, but it's awfully a big crap dice roll if you're going to send him in. If the boomer doesn't land, and they're going to roll with this. This could be a questionable call. We'll see what it does on his commit. He is in. The boomer gets one. He's trying to get his corner. He has not gotten it yet. Got his first punch at 2,700. Body block on Rochelle. He's down to 400 health already. He's got a corner. Support goes in. He needs to get a no in cap, and they take it extremely well. Akatsuki with 963 bonus remaining. Only one pill needed to be popped.
There were almost no commons, and the commons that were there, Ro was the only boom target, and she intentionally ran up and body blocked for the tank. So she, like, you know, all the commons were going to a target that already was being dealt with. So I actually really like the decision making there from Akatsuki. But they can't even down hers. 3/4 of the bonus left. They do walk into a triple boom. But the thing is, this is Fear Factory probably wanted to go for the quad. Looks like they are just going to be Okay, it is going to be Fear Factory going for the quad as Noro specs himself as a spitter, which is going to leave us with, of course, a Smoker, Jockey, Hunter, Charger. They've got a lot more bonus to tear through, but obviously if the quad lands, it doesn't matter how much bonus is left for the Survivor team.
Yeah, look at them. They're trying to rush this quickly, but rushing is dangerous. Whether it's both sides. Look at this Charger. Just got to get his spawn. Here he comes in. Smoker's already cleared the Charger.
Wow.
Nothing is even close.
Wow.
I think the Infected might have rushed it a little bit there and allows the Survivors to go through. Charger had to get there for pretty long, far away. And look at this, 71.1% bonus. This is going to be a massive swing unless this last two hits don't. I need to do some big damage now.
You specifically saw the spawn manipulation from Akatsuki. I don't know exactly what they did, if anything, for this to happen. But, I mean, it seemed like the commons were just constantly behind. There were very, very few commons that spawned in front of them. They easily mowed them down. They already pressed a button. They can literally just chill out and farm commons at this point because they've only got one player who's bleeding. They've got 4 sets of pills. They've got so much bonus. All they need to do is make sure that this last hit is ineffective, or at least as ineffective as possible for Akatsuki.
Final chance.
Reloading.
It doesn't look like they're rushing this. They're going to wait and clear out these commons. Coach is going to keep jumping to block the spawn on the rooftop. They'll find the spawns in between. Now, they can never block it 100%, but I believe they're going to wait for at least one person to get inside or for the transition in from everybody. Let's see what Fear Factory can do. Needing big damage, only taking 30% of the bonus away. One survivor in. Rochelle on the out, on the ground with Nick. There's only shotguns inside now. Note to that. It's going to be difficult to stop the ones on the outside. Smoker wants to wait, and here they go. They're getting a full send. Smoker, well, beautifully done. And this is going to get some really good damage until they can get out here. Still going to be big bonus coming out from Akatsuki, but down to 801. About 100 plus damage comes out. But with the DB being protected, not much at all is going to go. And I think we're going to see how much, about 500 lead now for Akatsuki. Yes, 500 plus. What a swing, no. What a swing.
Going to be 1,400 points in the chapter instead of about 1,550. So well done by Fear Factory in the last hit, but still an overwhelming amount of points there put in from Akatsuki. Going to put themselves with a nice, comfortable bonus, or rather just points lead after 2 chapters. As we head to chapter 3, again, as we know, this chapter 3 is full of points, and it's also full of some very dangerous spots. There's the event. There's his first hit. There's a sewer. The tanks are all typically pretty dangerous. You know, even the ones that are more open, they've got the hittables, they've got the dumpster, the car. We're going to have 43% tank, though. I think that should probably... this is kind of an awkward percent.
Yeah, that is. I'm trying to think. Are Are they inside that building when this spawns?
I think they just run back. I think they're out just barely outside, and then they just bring it in and run back to this open space. I'm not 100% sure though.
Yeah, alright, so we're gonna just have to wait to see it. I'm curious, because you know now, if you're inside that building when it spawns, and that tank spawns on the other side of that hallway, down that little alley, and he's able just to run down there and cut you off, that is extremely dangerous for the survivors, because you have all the spawns above, too, on both sides of the buildings, which makes it really advantageous for the special infected. Probably one of the most advantageous tank spawns if it is in the building. If it's if it's on the other side where it's in the alley or right before the alley, then it's not so bad. But if you actually dip in there, the survivors have to make a choice if they're going to stay there or run back, because if you run back and you don't make it, there's a hatchback right there, and all that needs to happen is a charger or a hunter to land, and that's already probably too much time for the survivor to get out of the way.
So we're gonna see. I think this should be pretty chill, but again, like you referenced, plenty of hittables at this area, if it is where I'm thinking about. But again, we've got this close hit. There's not gonna be a smoker here, but still, Hunter, Jockey, Charger, and a Spit going to be huge. Got the rocket spawns as the survivors drop down. Sometimes we even have a player go down that other stairwell and wallbang through. Looks like that's not something that they're interested in. Akatsuki, drop it down, climb it back up. This is, I think, their first time going as survivors first. You're going to find two, the double charge in the Spit. Player does go down below to try to help clear, but the Jockey even lands. The damage is absolutely massive, and Fear Factory gives Akatsuki a very warm welcome into Chapter 3.
Warm welcome is an understatement. That is 15% damage coming out from that opening attack. Two of them were swimming in the Spit. One survivor down to 51 HP. One scratch from only being 2 punches. One survivor still stays a fat, girthy 100, but others 2 at 82 and 1 at 76. They do have a second set of spawns coming up. It's going to be a tri-cap with a Boom, Jockey, Charger, Smoker, Boomer. Let's see when they choose to send it. Are they going to transition down or strafe jump and hit this horde up top? And they're trying to bait this. Okay, they're going to go down. So the what a charger! He gets a double charge! He gets cleared. His support was very late though, but what a charge coming that. Aisha goes flying through the air, takes a lot of fall damage, down to 16. And I believe that was that a Haraku charger? I missed it, but that was crazy.
I'm not sure. I can't believe Aisha didn't just go down there. He's going to go ahead and pop his pills. Gets past another set. He's one of the 2 Chrome players for Akatsuki. Hunter, Charger, Jockey, Spit. Massive hit. And we've got 6% left until the tank.
They've spawned this tank. I think this horde is not over yet. They got to be careful. Okay,
right.
They choose to slow it down here, but they're not in a good position for this attack. And I do believe that Fear Factory should send this. They are in close quarters. There's charge Spits inside. I believe they should just go and then keep the Spitter alive for a possible run back, but looks like they're just going to wait instead. Chris is going to be the tank.
With you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would have piled on the damage here, in my opinion, when the commons were still coming. Maybe you get some of them locked up here. Hunter looks like he wants to go for some scratches. They find him as Ellis runs in there to kill commons. Now we wait for the run back now. It is.
Should be fine. We've got a Spitter ready, though. Oh! What are we going on here with Coach? Oh my god, he gets charged, he gets jocked. The Spit does come out, but I think it's a little bit late. And Akatsuki, they make it through. I see that hittable. Okay, I think they're going to be good to back it up.
Yeah, but they have taken a lot of damage. You look at it, Akatsuki is backing off inside right away. They know they have taken too much damage. They cannot play any games with this tank playing long. So they're just going to be like, you know what, let's go inside, let him get his good luck at his cars inside, or in his dumpster. If he's able to get it in, let it happen. And he's just going to use that car as a tool. And that is a big 2 boom. No, this is huge for Chris. His support should just wait for him. He's probably going to be going in any second now. And waiting a couple of seconds. The commons are in. Tank is in. He gets the high ground. Does miss the first punch. Gets one on Rochelle right there. Second punch onto Rochelle. Rochelle's in the corner. Misses a punch there, but nobody's shooting him. A punch onto Ro. The tank is not being shot at all. Okay, now he's trying to get another survivor. His support is up. He's trying to chase Nick. He's down to 2,500. He gets another corner. His hunter has died. He missed a punch onto Nick. He is desperately trying to find another person. He is 1,300 HP. The charger misses. He gets into the corner. The jockey lands. The survivor has to make a decision not to shoot the tank either, and barely clears the survivor before another end cap goes out. And now this tank has to try to stay alive for a little while longer, and I don't know if Chris is going to be able to do so. He's being hunted down. 400, 300, 200. One more rock, not going to get it. Comes in and he dies off. Smoker lands, he is dead, and that is going to be Fear Factory's tank doing a absolutely phenomenal job on damage, but it's not over yet. The delays are going to come out. Spitter, can he get in there, or can they hold? All right, this is going to be it. It is done, and they knock him all the way down to how much here? No, they have to pick up their last survivor. He's on the top. They can't reach him. Oh, there they go. They got it. And it's going to be down to 16.7%, and they're all crawling now. And look at this. Charge Spit lands, and the slam. Jockey lands. And that's going to be another end cap going out, and 3 survivors have now been down from this tank now.
This is probably the end of the road for Akatsuki on this chapter. They've got no pills. Aisha has guzzled 3 full sets. Looks like they're maybe shopping a little bit, but I don't know if, I mean, they might be able to find some, but still they've got 3 players who are slow. And you got a maximum of 2 sets of pills that they can find here. I don't see a world where they make it much further at all. Boom goes ahead and comes out. Doesn't, okay, it's just going to be an arc. Boom, spawn up on top of the roof. It's not the craziest hit, but it is a charge and a spit in the stairwell area, so that's always something to consider. They're going to go for the rocket with a smoke pullback. Double cap on the back. Spit is awkward, but it does manage to block the front and the back. So they get, 2 players down off of that, and this is the exact kind of snowball that I was expecting to happen for Akatsuki. They just don't have the health as another player goes down to really deal with this situation.
He's got to get people up quickly. They got a jockey now. This is extremely dangerous for Akatsuki. Jockey's going to troll this. The jockey lands. They need to get the clear. Demon is already down to 20 HP and black and white. Hunter comes in. Hunter lands. Spit comes in to delay. Rochelle is standing in the spit. Also, Rochelle goes down to 9. Their black and white falls in the spit and is dead. And they will wipe out from that hit. And they only get 245 points, which is pretty much a tank wipe now. And this is what Fear Factory needed to bounce back. And with distance alone, they can almost retake the lead.
Pretty much. Akatsuki made the possibly controversial decision to back it up into the storage facility instead of just taking it out there wide in the open. Of course, there is the dumpster that can be brought into play there, but I don't know. I think Fear Factory, no matter where they take it, it is pretty much going to be paramount that Akatsuki finds major early game damage. I'm talking the stairwell hit, the first hit, the event hit. Those are pretty much the 3 hits that Akatsuki is going to get guaranteed, and every single one of these needs to be a value bomb.
Yeah, you're telling me value bomb is an understatement. No, that first one was 15% from the gate, setting the tone for Fear Factory. Let's see if Akatsuki can bounce back with their morale, keep it in tone, and keep the pressure on Fear Factory, which they've done very well at the end of Chapter 1, and also solidifying a lot of the bonus gone on Chapter 2. But start with this opening hit, and it looks like they're going to be very patient before they come out here now.
Reload.
Indeed. Gonna continue waiting it out. Remember, they walked into a double charge. They split 2-2. The Akatsuki survivors did, and they walked right into a nasty double charge in Spit. And it was more of a misplay from the survivors than anything. So now they need something big here. Ideally, Jockey with the stumble onto Code. The Charger is just a little bit too late to really be able to find anything. He's going to be able to get a smack onto Ellis, but Ellis is even able to jump on top of the railing, and he's spit free. Fear Factory take that hit 10% better than Akatsuki.
Yeah, you know, with that opening spawn rotation they have there now, taking 5% I think is pretty respectable in my opinion. You know, because it is a very devastating choke point with all spawns above you. I'm going to go quick here, not able to get the survivors split. Fear Factory regroup, tri-cap with Boomer coming in. I mean Smoker, sorry, not Spit. Smoker going back for a despawn, gets a pull, not quite going to work out. They're going to send full hits here to Smoker. Guy got to be careful being up there, get pulled down. And they're able to kill the Hunter that lands. Not the fastest clear. And the Smoker goes up in the back and is killed off. And now they just got to take this Horde. And I don't know if they go inside here. No, I think they should stay back. And they're going to go inside as well. I don't know if I agree with this call. I think they should just stay back and wait the commons out. What do you feel, Noah?
I'm not sure. They've got a Charger. They've got a Spitter. Stairwell hit is good to go. They're going to try to beat the clock here, but even just two. Okay, they are just baiting it out. Commons are on the way. We've got... Okay, they're going to actually pull it out. Now that Akatsuki has already spawned in their SIs, they know where the SIs are. They don't have to worry about those rocket spawns from up above. They don't have to worry about the Charger being able to spawn like that. So now they pull it back and they start clearing commons. Wow.
So they end up just watching the whole event anyways, which I think is absolutely the right call to this scenario now. There's no reason for them to rush this. They're perfectly healthy. They have pre-spawn infected. They know where they're coming from already. And just go back to the stair and now take it. And then look at this. They're going to retreat. And now they're going to yield the building to them to just guard the hit run back. This is interesting.
It died. I mean, Fear Factory is trying to beat the clock now. It's going to be a quad. 2% left, and look at the setup from Fear Factory. Jockey, no one goes after Chris, and he's able to just laser SI down after SI. SI is barely finding anything. 3 hits, finding about 3 to 4% per hit. Definitely not enough. Absolutely not enough. Gonna need a huge tank from Demon. And the question in my mind right now is, does Fear Factory back it up, or do they just play it out here in the open?
Well, Demon wants to bring another toy with him, which is going to be very difficult, I must add. I don't know if he's going to be able to sneak this by. If he sneaks it by this, no, I'll be extremely impressed. See if he can actually manage to do this. Okay, he got it in the alley. Can he pop that over? I knew that was going to happen. I don't know if he can get it either. No, that's... You need everything to go right there for that to get through. No, I don't even know if I've ever seen it get through. To get that third hittable. I don't know if that's... I don't even think that's possible.
He's just going to hold vision for the time being. He's in a spot where the SMGs are barely doing anything. Now the survivors do back it up. 50% frustration onto Demon as he tosses some Moonrock. Goes for the car. Mostly uncontested. Chris maybe gets a shot off for 2 there, but... For the most part, he's able to just walk it up, and Fear Factory is going to back it up here. I don't know how much I like it in here. It can be a very cluttered space. We saw Aisha getting torn up by the tank while his team was just watching for SI spawns that had no intention of going in. I felt like that was a major problem with the tank. They're going to back it out now with the car. Interesting situation here for Fear Factory. We've got the car and the dumpster over on one end. The tank on the other end, and they are just going to start pressuring him. Smoke pull down onto Chris, not going to find it. He gets to stay up. They do flush out Ellis. Ellis not going to be avoiding stumbled. Hunter just hopping around and dies. Smoker, Jockey, 3k HP tank, and this is the undoing of Akatsuki. We are watching it in real time. This is just a Hail Mary play. Going to be hiding behind the car and the dumpster, but I mean the entire way through this survivor side has been extremely scary from Fear Factory. The precision and the strategy has just been like really rehearsed and scary and just outplaying Akatsuki. They will eat a double boom. but right now they are at higher percentage bonus post-tank than Akatsuki was after Fear Factory's first hit.
Yeah, that is insane. Their bonus is looking very big, but they have a lot of difficult choke points to come up through, so it's one thing to rush. All they have to do is get their special infected hits on point. Charger goes in, the Charger misses. They run through the spit, though. The Hunter's going to be able to get Chris in the back, but no, Chris shuts it down beautifully. They still almost lose 10% from that hit, though, no, but big save there by Chris at the end, and I think Fear Factory did get a little too cocky there by having 3 survivors just pull W through the spit and lose about 10% bonus from that.
Reloading.
Yeah, they, again, you know, with how well they did in the first half, letting damage like that through, it does, you know, kind of sully their chances to really just completely break away from Akatsuki. But the truth is, obviously, they've already won this chapter. There's only about 450 points that stand between them and first place right now, which is not that much considering they've got a potential 1,800 right now, 1,500 that they can still get at this point in the match. Charge dealt with, Jockey dealt with, Boom Spit is what's left, and we're looking at a quad going into the sewers, which isn't the most promising hit in this area for me at all.
No, it's not appetizing at all. It's very difficult.
No.
I mean, I know they got to go for Hail Marys, but I'd be trying by all means possible to make sure every hit with a spit, even if it's a 2-2, just get those lands like they did on the first chapter, getting great value after the tank and like 8% per hit. With how long this chapter is, I should be able to get it down into the 30s, so I think I'd be happy with that. And now they have a choke point, which is almost impossible to land a quad on. And if they landed in here, I'll be absolutely flabbergasted. I'll tell you that now. But here it goes. The Hunter will land. Smoker misses as we thought. Smoker Charger comes from the back. It misses too. And a bad death order is going to be a Charger, Smoker, or Charger and a Smoker dying at the end, which is going to set up a Hunter Jockey 2-2. And with where they're at here now, I don't even know if they're going to be able to hit quick and then have spawned the top of the hole.
I don't think they are. I think they have to wait for the hole. It's going to be a 2-2 Hunter Jockey on the hole. If Fear Factory just passed up some of the more... Okay, they do go ahead and send the boom in. I don't mind it. Buys time to get a 3-1 with Spit, which is obviously a much stronger hit at this area. We'll see what they do. I think they're still not going to get a charge right, though. I think they're going to get a smoker from this, which can still be fine through this area. It is charge. Okay.
Ooh, that's a huge hurt though, right there. Now they're just going to be able to run up. The Cappers need to land perfect unison. Survivor's not rushing this. Okay. And the spit is back in the hit. Okay, that means nothing now. No. Okay, so that spit didn't stop really anything, but they don't want to rush up with the comment. Charger misses his cue. But yeah, the Charger... really ambitious there. It just gets a fist onto Chris, and they're going to walk in with 900 plus.
Yeah.
I don't know what that Charger was thinking that was going to land coming up from the back like that. There's no chance that's going to happen.
Yeah, that was crazy. That the decisions made there on that hit. We've seen that hit be worth so much bonus, and Akatsuki just kind of tossed it away, and it feels like, you know, they've forgotten that they just got one of the highest Chapter 2 scores that I've really seen in a while. And so just tossed the game away here so far in Chapter 3. Don't get me wrong, there is Chapter 4, there is a finale, but when you look at how Fear Factory is playing the Survivor side, they are not just one step ahead, they're 2 or 3 steps ahead of what Akatsuki's planning. It's just not been effective, and we look at a 2-2. Hunt Smoke, going to try to catch Coach. No. Sidestep easily, and his buddy was there clear anyways, so they're going to have to be happy with the Hunt Spit, with a common scratch in there, and they're going to walk it in with 1,600 plus points on Chapter 3.
32-60 exactly to 2409, almost 800 delta. Big bounce back for Fear Factory, and we saw a new leader on every chapter so far, and it's going to be really difficult for Akatsuki to make that happen again, I'll tell you that.
That much is for sure. They're even further in the hole than Fear Factory was, and we have to keep in mind Akatsuki are the underdogs. They were the underdogs going into this match. They still are. I think a lot of people questioning their position in the winner semi bracket. So, or the winner bracket semis, I should say. They've still got time to prove themselves. They had such a good chapter 2, but chapter 3 did not look pretty at all. If it was me, that would have been very demoralizing for me to have a chapter 3 like that on both sides, not just SIs, but also the survivor side, as we saw. So, Katsuki, they've got to shake it off. They do have a 39% take, which can potentially be the saving grace for Katsuki.
It definitely can beat all. It's going to come to the cars being punched around the back. But I don't remember where this tank spawns at. If it's before or after the event, that is very important to note. Because if it's before event, then the infected will get at least 3 full hits in without spawning the tank, unless the survivors really want to push their money. And this hunter finds nothing. I like the attempt out of there for the special infected. Not able to find anything though. Everybody at 0 with just a boomer proxy on the coach. There goes a quick common slap, giving Demon 2 points. Oh, another common slap sneaks in there, giving Demon another 2 points. And Hydro's down to 97, which means one of those commons were punched from the back.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to delay that hit. They did what they could. Fear Factory does shut it down with ease. Smoker Hunter, Charger Spit. Maybe a strong hit ready to go. They got some pretty impactful tools for this choke specifically. The Smoker being able to pull back if he so desires on this kind of one-way drop-down area is obviously extremely impactful. They could even try to do send all 3 cappers on maybe the back 2 if they can catch him off guard. And that way, Hunter just goes in. And they shoot the Hunter. They still land. Charger lands. It will ultimately be a charge. The spit misses, which takes away pretty much all the damage from that hit, and they got like 2% to show for it.
Yeah, I believe that would have put Noro at least down to 75 health, so he gets to keep 15 of his health for that. He's going to be very grateful for the spitter missing that. And it's actually going to be a tank before the event, so this is going to be beneficial for the survivors. Where this tank is exactly going to spawn is going to be interesting. And he's right behind the train cart. Wow, he's super close, but not going to matter. Survivors retreat back to safety, and this tank will be fought in the back. And 502 will be the 4th tank of his game for Akatsuki. And now it's going to be all about that hittable positioning now, while the survivors retreat to safety.
The fact that they didn't get much value with those early hits is, of course, a little bit disheartening. But you can't expect to get a ton of damage with those early hits. It's quite a survivor-sided first half of the chapter 4. But another thing is that, like you said, hittable control is the name of the game here. I don't think those breakpoints are going to be as impactful on a chapter like this, because look at how wide open this space is. Him just hunting down survivors and getting corners and getting them down one by one, it's not really something that is ever realistically going to happen. Nice attempt by the Charge to bring Chris down off the rooftop, but he's going to be able to jump right back up. And MK, this rooftop space is crazy. They're going to get so much chip before 520 can do anything.
Yeah, they get chipped, but there is a problem. If you're all chilling up there together, something can go wrong when you have this car flying through the air. So the aggression is great. Get that early chip, but don't get caught and get triple hit with that car. You might have a good lead of 1,000 points plus, 1,080 to be exact. Getting wiped here will give them a lot of opportunity. That's a good placement on the car. He's 20% frustration. He's got to be careful here, and I'll take it away.
Look at the Smoker up in the tree. He's not going to spawn in. Okay, he does eventually spawn in with Chris being separated. Are they going to be able to do the exact thing that I said they couldn't do? The jockey continuing to go away at Chris. Finally is going to go down, but he's got the corner down and goes Chris. Smoker pulling away. In the meantime, got just enough space to bait him into this situation. 520 certainly going to go down. One in cap is not going to cut it. I think we might be headed to Quad City. We might not quite be there yet, but this is definitely an amazing uptick for Fear Factory, even with getting that in cap onto Chris like they did.
Yeah, I think that jockey had more than enough time for the tank to walk over and get that hatchback. No, they could have sent all of the specials to do that to guarantee that kill, in my opinion. But instead, it's a one in-cap tank coming out, definitely beneficial for Fear Factory, and we're probably going to see every other attack be a quad until they make it to the safe room, because they need a desperation wipe here, because Fear Factory's points have just started ticking up again.
And the thing is, I mean, Spit sucks at this area anyways. Like, they're going to go bring in this tank and walk it back. It's just like, you know, just this wide open... okay, wait, charge. Not quite getting a smackdown, but we got the jockey ready to go. Wait, the stop. Oh my god, they're so lucky they got that clear on Chris. Otherwise, he was DED, dead AF. And that was going to be that. But they lived to fight another day, and the hit has been neutralized. And MK, once that hit gets neutralized, and they get, especially once they get back and set up in this back area, it's so damn hard for Akatsuki to do anything. But look at Fear Factory, they're actually pushed forward a little bit.
Interesting thing here. I don't know if I feel it's better or worse, but with the positioning that the survivors are in, they're just going to get blasted out of the sky. They just hold W, kill the spawns, and another quad sack coming in. Now that quad did take about 13% of the damage away, a little bit more actually, which was successful on getting output. But they need to make sure they can kill these survivors with this next quad. And it also seems like, I'm not quite sure where they're going to be at, but there is also a possible death on the other side of this event, with the charge opening here, or the jock down if they don't get the pickup before he's ledge hanging over that little awning down below now. They got to be careful here. And there's a separation. There's a smoker pull. They're laying a 2-cap. The charger gets melted, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be good damage onto Chris. He'll have to pop pills. Damage bonus affected. A lot of damage comes off of that, but they need more now. It's hard to say that you're still getting 120 damage per hit, but it's not enough.
Yeah, well, the heartbreaker for Akatsuki is that even if Fear Factory just gets distance here, it's going to put them in such a difficult position. I think what you put it so well when you said that they really needed to just get that hatchback and kill Chris. They needed to take the risk and just kill Chris because, you know, having to deal with 3
survivors. Out like adults right there. I didn't even need to get involved, but it was true. That was a little fast on the spec. Supposed to wait 3 seconds, respectively, as that would be a good amount of time, I would feel. So I do agree that it was a little quick spec, and the survivor's going to slow down anyway. So in the end, it's not really going to have any effect, in my opinion. So well done by them by working it out. But there is 762 bonus remaining on Fear Factory, and as it says now, it's almost a 1,400 point lead. They're 10 points away from it being that alone, so this bonus would be devastating for Akatsuki. They need to get it away. Here it comes. Hunter finds the target. Jockey gets melted. The Charger takes the pulled guy. The Hunter's ripping up. Smoker covers at the end and gets a tick or two. Good damage, but still 625 points on the survivors.
The hunt was amazing. You could see the puzzle pieces were getting put together bit by bit, but the issue is Fear Factory, their their survivor damage output, even on, you know, orange ping is so overwhelming that it makes it so difficult for a quad to realistically land. I mean, it has to be literally just it has to be frame perfect as far as the quad goes. Otherwise, they're going to be able to pick one off. And sure, they'll take some damage, but we've already established that the issue isn't going to be damage. It's just the quad, the threat of the quad, not the damage. Because they've got so many points that they're poised to walk in with right now.
And this jockey desperately needs a despawn now. Oh, they found him. Are they going to go get him? They almost
HP.
got him down to 18. He'll get a despawn up to 100 and change. Probably about $170, $180 when he gets a despawn. Yeah, $172. Last quad coming here now.
The door's already been closed. Oh my god! The tri-cap lands. Hey, and the quick smoke as well. Oh my god. And that is why you close that door, Hydro. Making sure that his team does not get quadded right outside the safe room. Of course, it is going to be great damage output by Akatsuki once again. You know, we can't really minimize that, but the truth is, this scoreline is very daunting. It's almost guaranteed that Akatsuki is going to need to not only play Chapter 4 very well, and win by a couple hundred points, but they're also going to need to go finale.
Yeah, but remember, this finale is only worth 600 distance, if I remember correctly. I don't think it's 500. I'm pretty sure it's 600, so we can do a quick evaluation on this. See what we got here. 700 distance. So 2100 maximum points here if they get perfect. So technically, they could retake the lead with a god tier chapter. Plus, don't forget the pill bonus as well. Another 100 change from that as well. 140 to be exact. See how well they can hold on here now. I think they have to bring it within 500 to call finale, in my opinion. But they're going to need about 800, 900 bonus.
Nice pick, but the jockey will be able to get in. We got two players just chilling in the safe room, and Fear Factory right out the gate manages to execute better than Akatsuki. They already get a nasty, nasty hit worth over 5% right out of the gate. Well done.
And yeah, that's a really good start now. If they keep this damage percentage up just per hit, this is enough to guarantee them they have a survivor really separated. Look at this. 1 tick, 2 ticks, 3 ticks, 4 ticks. The charger comes home over it takes the pound spit. What is Akatsuki doing? Stumble through the wall. Demon goes all the way down to 29, pops pills back up to 75. And it looks like Fear Factory just taking advantage of everything Akatsuki has given to them. And the little separation there, devastating for their cause now. Almost 20%.
It's devastating. It's also pretty frustrating because Bird, you're the team captain of Akatsuki, man. You can't be rage rushing. He leaves the 2 pump shotguns to clear the smoke. Like, you're supposed to be the guy who's back there clearing your teammate, and instead he's like way out in first position as an SMG when your teammates have pumps of all weapons. Like, they're not going to be able to clear that smoker. And you know what? Even more importantly than that situation, I loved how Fear Factory did it. You know what I mean? It was definitely not a standard hit, but they adapt. They make it work. They specifically fashion the hit according to how it plays out, and it's all contextual for Fear Factory. And that is what makes a team like this so scary, is they can just adapt on a dime.
Karu's going to have what could be the final tank of the game, and the survivors are really close to this hittable. They are playing super aggressive, and Karu's not going to go for it at this moment. They're just going to go for a hit. Charger misses, Rock comes out. Survivor was paying attention. Hunter will die off at the end, and now he's just going to wait for more spawns as he just looks at the survivors up top. Boomer dies off, and Tricap coming in shortly.
Don't get me wrong. Akatsuki, they do still have enough rope to recover from this with. Right now, they've almost got 3 times the amount of bonus that Fear Factory managed to walk in with. So it is still possible for Akatsuki, but Demon going to continue to bleed out the entirety of this chapter. And we got to see the take from Hikaru to start with. I mean, look at this. The smoke pull down into the jockey, into the charge, landing with the wall. It's just free damage, and Akatsuki continues to get bled out.
Yeah, he's just not shit. He's just like, you know what? I'm still first pass. Let's just go in for a hit, get some more damage. Oh, that's a good hatchback. Look at that. Wow, what a bounce. Almost perfect bounce. He's even going to have a good angle to get that down the alley. Not going for it first. The Boomer goes in. He's going to kill the Boomer with the car. Oh, almost. That would have been a great kill, but... Alright, just a little bit patience here for his other spawn to come up. Hikaru. Big tank coming in here. I think all he really needs is an end cap, and that'll set the tone. Doesn't really need much more than that. See if he can get it. Back down. He's got to be careful. He's got to dig that out a little bit. All right, that worked out. Akatsuki got to be careful for the hit. Oh, what a bounce off the house. Unfortunate. Survivor split 2 and 2. He backs up for it. He loses 1,000 HP by being greedy for the cars. Not a big cost. Down to 4K now. Splits the Survivors 2 and 2. Survivors chasing the Charger, and the Hunter comes in. They both miss. The jockey doesn't have anything. Uh-oh, Hikaru kind of left out here. Oh, he doesn't have anything at this moment. The jockey tries to help him. Rock is going to miss. This might be a no-hitter coming out from Fear Factory's tank. No curve rock comes out, and he's gonna try all he. No, he's just gonna die now, and he accepts his death. And it looks
Guns
like
here.
Akatsuki Null is gonna come out with 1,000 bonus post tank.
Yeah, Hikaru looks so leisurely about it. He's like, yeah, I'll go over, hit this car. I'll give it a little smack, see what happens. You know, he starts pathing towards Survivor. He's like, well, there's this car right here, so I'll go ahead and smack that, see what happens with that. And he never really committed to a plan, and then all of his SIs were dead.
Yeah, and if they walk in with a safe room with the bonus they have right now, it'll be about, I believe, 198 delta, or 80 some delta, if I remember correctly. If I did my math correctly, more like it. I probably didn't, but it's close to that number right now. So everything down here will further the lead. They didn't even start the event yet. Here goes the pole. Hunter lands in the back, and I forgot that they haven't even triggered this event yet. No, they have to take 2 more hits before they can advance.
Reloading here.
That's right. They are going to go ahead and back it up.
I mean, they could definitely keep this. I think they could keep half of the bonus they have on here now, because they're already going to lose a 70 bonus for the pills. There's no way they're not going to have to. They're going to be able to hold on to
Weapons
those.
over
But
here.
where are the commons?
They are gone. They are gone. Chris says,
Oh, here they come.
they're coming from
Oh, here
behind.
they come. Yeah, they spawn in the back. Interesting. All right. Well, Demon has gone slow. Probably not going to eat until they decide to go forward. More pills, that is. Jockey comes rocketing in. Charger almost gets Rochelle. Nothing really comes out from the SI. They just lose 3 points of damage. That is it. Akatsuki holding strong so far, taking 1 hit after they trigger the event.
Well, you look at this situation, MK, and you kind of wonder, did they even need to go quad after quad on their side? Like, I feel like they might have been able to push a lot more damage through, get a lot more bonus racked up, or knocked out, rather, if they had just played normally and gone for damage. But regardless, double boom, Hunter will land, Jockey will land, smoke pool will be good. Ooh. It will get cleared just in time. We will be able to be pressing forward, but still some much needed damage coming out of Fear Factory as they clock them from 1,000 down to 891. Make it 856 is the last air pills. Good spot.
Yeah, we did know they were going to lose that 70, but we knew they would take more damage, which is about 80 points worth of damage other than the pills that they did pop. But and more spawns are coming up. I don't think they'll be able to get around this corner quickly enough. Spawns looks like they're getting in position, but the survivors push out in between the train carts, and it looks like there's just nothing really here for the infected to do as far as damage-wise here. No, I think they just have to go back and hit on the inside of the factory. There's just nothing to be done out here with what they have.
Reloading.
Charger Hunter Jockey Spitter is such a scary hit that looms over Akatsuki's head. And you know, if you back it out into out of first person mode, of course you can't see those SIs are set up and ready to go in the warehouse. Is absolutely an inside hit. It gives Akatsuki you know, some range, but it guarantees that they get a massive hit at the exact choke point that they want.
Yeah, it looks like what they're doing. Yeah, this is just really advantageous spawns now for the special infected. I just really curious where they're going to send the hunter from. I mean, yeah, the hunter from.
Here.
I don't see where he's located at.
Looks like he's on the lower level.
Oh, yeah, I see. Okay. Interesting, though.
Reloading.
Alright, they get a hunt spit and a little bit of standing spit. Common scratches Nick while he's in the spit. But regardless, 791 bonus left. Make it 861 as they get 2 sets of pills. Demon is going to go ahead and pop his, but 520 is still 54 HP. So 826 bonus to 428. This is about double the bonus that Fear Factory got. We got 1 hit left, and it's a no spit hit. Jockey Charger, Smoker, Boom. Going to be relying on separation through these areas. You definitely can get some separation here too. Or maybe they just send it in as 3 and get damage. We saw a Tri-Cap come out onto Fear Factory around here as well. Just have to wait and see. Final chance for Fear Factory to close this out altogether.
And look at Coach really trying to block that spawn on top of the 10th. Charger losing that spawn, backing up a little bit, which is fine. Just waiting for Rochelle. Okay, Rochelle now drops. Coach is now up top. The repositioning. They do have a smoker to assist with this Charger to get some punches. Here they go. They're going to just set the boomer up top. Smo in the back. What a 2-cap coming out. Charger misses, but the 2-cap is getting huge damage. Down to 700, 680.
Yeah.
Jockey is still riding around. Look at the bonus drop. That was huge ending for Fear Factory. And that's going to keep their lead delta to make the finale cause even more of a delta. I don't know. See if they go map 5. We'll ask.
Looks like they won it.
We're going chapter 5.
And Chris gonna say apparently, as if it's so outlandish that they would do this. But really, it's it is what it is. Akatsuki is the type of team to try to go for it, but at the same time, I just think back to that hit on the second hit on chapter 4 that just absolutely disintegrated their bonus. The way that they went for quad after quad after quad on their side in desperation mode when they were gonna bring it finale anyways. I think that there was a way that Akatsuki makes this even more even than it is, but of course that time has passed us by. Akatsuki has still been standing toe to toe with Fear Factory, funnily enough, winning a number of chapters, and if they can have an absolute breakout performance here in chapter 5, they can be staying in the winner's bracket. Of course, it is important for y'all to remember at home, even if Akatsuki loses this, they will still be fighting their way through the loser bracket.
Yeah, this is a 649 point lead for Fear Factory, if I did my math correctly. That is pretty good. That is all the distance of the map alone. So that's already going to force Akatsuki that needs to kill the tank on the other side and make it to the safe room minimal with bonus. That's if Fear Factory gets nothing. So Fear Factory's going to put up more points on top of it. If they make it to the safe room alone, they'll just be shy of 5k. With just 12 bonus, we'll get it. And we've witnessed many tanks on this fight now because the hitables do not in-cap. They only do 24 damage, which necessarily isn't bad. But it's not easy getting the wipe that you're usually able to, that you want to get without that having one of your tools to lean on. Instead, they're going to have to get in-caps the old-fashioned way and maybe just use the cars as tools to huddle and kind of herd the survivors where the infected want them to be.
We have definitely seen teams find some success with some chip via the hitables. We've seen this kind of be a full commit tank. We've seen it be a long tank. It is going to come in instantly from Akatsuki. Smoker is good. Jockey going to land as well. They get some decent damage to start off. Smoker not quite getting as many ticks as it was hoping for, but it's still going to be 3%. And like you said, MK, the real issue, I mean, the tank is really cool to watch. It's exciting fight. There's a lot that can happen, but once it dies, it's just like a stretch of road with some cars spawn behind here and there, and that's about it until we get to the parking lot, and even that is an amazing spot to hit. So the tank has to perform. The tank has to be up to standards, industry standards here. Hit gets shut down once again. Going to be a Hunt Spit landing, but Fear Factory doing a really good job of minimizing the damage.
Indeed they do, and now we should be getting this tank up any moment. I do believe it spawns right about at the end of this bus.
Yeah.
Get him in play, and there it is. This will be the final tank of the game for Akatsuki. Into the hands of Verd, and without hesitation, all cars are flying through the sky as the survivors retreat to safety.
Yeah, it's a great issue with Verd's decision making at the start of Chapter 4 Survivor side. Let's see if he can recover from that. The atrocities that happen there. And get a good tank. His team needs it. A lot riding on this tank. We can see he's got 6 hitables that he's just smacking around trying to get into play. Something to keep in mind, of course, is that Fear Factory is set up and ready to be chipping him while he is doing this. So, especially with them being 24 damage cars, it can kind of be a bait. But they can also meat shield you a bit. As he hits one more over. That one will make it over. I wonder if he's going to try to cut off Fear Factory with some of these cars. 300 points of chip. Make it 1,000. Oh! Another hit, or another car comes out, make it a 3rd. Okay, they get the hunter, but the smoker as well, and the charger. But he's going for cards still, right? Okay, he's eventually gonna commit onto Chris. No, he throws the car. He gets 2 for the price of 1. The car going crazy, and Rowe is gonna go down, but Bird is as well. Looking like it's just gonna be that single end cap. And yeah, kind of gonna leave Akatsuki where they started just about. Nice dodge by Coach. He is gonna go down.
I'm a reload. Ammo.
And a pretty standard tank coming out here now from Akatsuki, which as be expected. Those cars don't do any in caps. He did get a hit to get 2 24s out, which is better than just getting 1 punch, which isn't bad, but I don't know now. They're going to have to lay on the special infected damage hard because they're down 600 plus, so if they get any bonus in this, it's almost going to be impossible for them to mount a thought of a comeback.
Yeah, definitely. 862 bonuses left. There is still hope, but Fear Factory, they get that early set of pills even, so Chris gets to get bounced right back up. And I like this from Fear Factory. This isn't necessarily a sprint. You know, in some campaigns or chapters, you really need to be rushing through areas to break down certain choke points for the SIs. But here, it's, you know, the damage is hard to come by for the SIs. So they can afford to slow it down, clear out all these commons, and yeah, maybe they take another hit. Maybe they don't, though, as Akatsuki continues to wait. Quad going to come in from 2 ends of the bridge. Hunter, Smoker down below. Charge gets a smack. And that is that. As the Hunter goes for some scratches, I guess, as well. I think he got a couple there. But that's that.
Yeah, they used to take the quad down pretty well, and now the hits are going to be very far and few. I think they'll get 3, and they're probably going to want to go for at least 1 more quad, so it's going to be 2 cap quad, and then luckily if they sneak another one out, as the 80% progression, and note, look at, they're already just sacking for the quad right away.
Dude.
And they are really banking on this quad at the end. Now, remember, now there is a lot of commons at the end. There is a lot. So this isn't no easy navigation, but it's going to be difficult to find favorable spawns when you have this helicopter opening wide out in the open.
Yeah, Akatsuki trades 2 hits for 1. 1 hit. 1 quad hit. As you can see, the Save for Less store is a potential rocket. That makes me think that Akatsuki's probably going to be pretty patient with this. But you know what that tells me? Fear Factory is going to be even more patient. They're just going to sit here. They're going to clear out all these commons. They're not going to care that the quad is looming over them because they recognize Akatsuki. They don't have that Save for Less rocket spawn. They don't really have the spawns that they desperately need to make this quad land with the way that Fear Factory can so quickly shut down an SI hit. Finally, the hit is in. Jockey and the Charger got a long way to go, but they get 3. They can't quite get 4, as Chris does manage to shut down the Hunter on Coach. And wow, that was definitely a nail biter, but they shut it down all the same, and Fear Factory has done it.
The tri-cap comes out, but the Charger, unfortunately, really difficult for him to get that play, having to come from so far away. But very respectable showing from Akatsuki. But Fear Factory puts the 5,526 points. And we could do the math. We'll let you know if it's possible. Give me 1 second here. I got the calculator already open and ready to go just for this special occasion. So let's
I'm going to say it is possible. That's my guess.
37. They need 1791 total. So 1800 and no, it is already mathematically over because they can only put up a 1920. That's the total point. Oh yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. Never mind. 1920, I think, is the perfect score.
But I mean, they can't take any damage. Like, we're gonna see them right out the safe room. They're just okay. Look at them taking it safely. They recognize they really have no margin for error here. Very, very little margin for error. In goes the charge. Gonna get 2% alone. Jockey Smoker just walks in for a scratch. He gets it. Jockey lands on the head as well. There's 5% on the hit. Make it 5.4%. And, you know, even just 1 more like that and it's done. In fact, it might be done already with that.
Now, it is close, though, but not quite. You are correct. It is close to being over. I mean, they only have a smidge to be able to spare here, which I think it's a tank punch away. And this is a lot of common infected to deal with on this chapter. it's very difficult to walk through and deal with all the specials when there's so many commons coming around from every corner, wherever they can spawn at, where there's no view from the survivor seeing they're there. Boomer even comes back, not able to get anything, and it looks like they're just going to sack that Boomer out for one better hit before the tank as they drop down. And, yeah. Oh, no, they're going to bring this Charger. Hunter will land. Spit goes out. Charger can't get on top of the fence. He loses his battle and going to go back for a despawn. Maybe get a better pair of shoes.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Final tank of the game for Fear Factory into the hands of their North American player, Hydro, shutting it or closing it out for Fear Factory.
Yeah, Smoker.
You can make it a lot closer, but I'm really pessimistic if I'm being honest about it. Try to be optimistic, but that's a really big bonus to keep. No.
They get Charger, Hunter, Boom, I think, for this. I thought it was interesting that they choose to... Maybe they're going to sack the Boom then and have a Smoker, Hunter, Charger. Maybe they just didn't want the Jockey. They wanted the Hunter over the Jockey, so this is their way of getting it because the Boom comes up next, and then the Hunter, so they had to kill off 2 to get the Hunter. They immediately kill the Boom, and now they have got exactly what they want. They got a 1 Boom, they got a Charger, they got a Hunter, they got a Smoker, and they got a hell of a lot of hittables here for Hydra as well.
Ooh.
Oh!
I mean, it's scary watching them fly through the sky, but they're just not as much of a threat as everybody would think. Don't get me wrong, 24 damage is still a threat, but as long as it doesn't in-cap, you could play very... Nick hits it. There's 24 damage. I think that might be already enough. I don't know yet. It probably is, but let's see what he could do. Oh, Coach is really separated. Here comes the Smoker to grab Coach. Hunter coming to clean it up. Eats the rock. Yeah. Gets punched out into the open, though. Oh, he moves forward. Oh, he eats a car. Eats another car. Smoker pole. The punch after he pops the pills. This is incredible damage from this tank already. As the XD... Oh, another car. He's bowling out here. Misses the rock. And Hydro... One more? Not going to get it. But that is a big damage tank. Half the bonus gone. Popping 2 more sets of pills for sure from Aisha and Demon. And they'll navigate the pill down to about 45% as soon as they catch up with each other. Or whenever Nick chooses to give pills to Ellis, which doesn't appear anytime soon. There we go. And now they continue the run. But they can put up about 4,500. No, I don't think they could put up 5K anymore, but I think they could put up 4,000 plus.
Reloading.
I think they've got the quad ready to go. Probably just going to do this 1 quad at the bridge area, just like Akatsuki did. And then they could actually do a better job than Akatsuki did of milking out more hits if they wanted to. We'll see if Fear Factory wants quality or quantity. Because, you know, Akatsuki went straight for quality. But Fear Factory does have that option for more quantity. Obviously, it's going to involve sending a 2-2. Won't be a big deal, though, in my opinion. Jockey down below the bridge, giving audio cues. Rochelle's looking over at him. In the meantime, the rest of Akatsuki is already pushed forward. They're kind of backing into each other. Gotta be careful of stumbles, but they are. And it gets shut down. Well done by Akatsuki.
Yes, indeed. Look at that. Still holding on to 666 bonus. They could barely win the round. It's going to be a little bit difficult. They find the extra set of pills, though. But no team here is going to go home. Akatsuki will go to the loser bracket. They'll have to wait for the teams to fight it out to see who they're going to play, though. So they'll get to relax there. But this is going to guarantee Fear Factory into the grand finals for sure. They sit on top of the winner bracket as they sack for 1 more quad before tank. And congratulations to them here now. Once again, they sit on top of the winner bracket, trying to get the W. A little bit reformed of their roster, but they have managed to pull it off. And now, we'll just have to see who they're going to play. I mean, winner of the... Plays the winner next week, I'm sorry. I forgot.
Yeah.
There's still 1 more round yet.
Yes. We're going to see his final hit come in. It is a quad ducky charger. That's going to be that. Akatsuki. Well, oh, we got a little smoker action in there as well. Jockey eventually going to get shut down. But not before he downs Vern, leaving Akatsuki with a nice little, I don't know, a nice little present on their way out the door here into the loser bracket. We might not see it end here. We still got a hit. Okay, boom. They send in the boom spit for funsies. Down goes Aisha. We got a charger here as well. Because why not? Keep it going. Charger goes in. Gonna be running Nick against the wall there. And now it's going to be tough to pick up Aisha. But they've got just the melee weapons to do it. And that is finally going to finish off this match. Maybe.
Maybe. Our GGs were too early, no.
And it is finally, for real this time, going to be the GGWP to both teams. It is, of course, going to be Fear Factory taking the win, but it wasn't as guaranteed as many people might have thought. That Chapter 2 was a huge flip for Akatsuki, but unfortunately, they were majorly outclassed in Chapter 3. Some questionable stuff, in my opinion, happening in Chapter 4 as well, and ultimately culminating in that loss in the finale by quite a bit. So, Fear Factory is going to be facing off against the victor of Iridescent versus Question Mark next week, which should be quite the interesting match. As for Akatsuki, I believe they're going to be facing off against the victor of Vaso de Leche versus Hikori, which there was some discussion on that, etc. But regardless, we can get into the details later. We still got quite a few matches coming up, as this is only Wednesday, and we've already gotten to see quite a match.
Yes, we have. It was awesome. Both teams put up over 4,000 points, 4,500 points. Actually, it'll finish out, to be exact, with Fear Factory getting the victory over Akatsuki, 55-28 to 45-04. Massive scores. Even though it's a 1,000-point lead by one team, it is very impressive to see those high scores coming out from both sides. Absolutely not. Incredible finish. And what a treat for us to have here early in the week on a Wednesday for Left 4 Dead 2.